Hey guys, it's Melissa with Beauty by Nature, and in this tutorial I'm going to show you how to make healthy carameled popcorn. Okay, what you're going to need is a cup of honey, and I've already put that in a saucepan because you're going to heat it up. Then you're going to need a half a cup of peanut butter, and I'm using natural peanut butter that has no sweeteners in it because the honey is really sweet. So it's sweet enough without any extra sweeteners. And then you're going to need vanilla extract, and then popcorn and olive oil, and then a couple of good-sized bowls. Okay, this caramel recipe makes a pretty decent amount of caramel, so I'm going to do 2 batches of popcorn. I do a stovetop popper. I'm going to take 2 tablespoons of olive oil. Go ahead and add that in right now while my stove is heating up. So 2 tablespoons of olive oil. And then once I can see a little bit of steam coming up out of this pan, I'm going to add the half cup of popcorn. Okay, as you can see, I've got the popcorn popping really well right now. It doesn't take very long as you have a pretty high heat. And then as soon as you can hear that there really isn't a lot of popping anymore, you remove it from the heat quickly so that you don't burn any of the popcorn, and quickly pour it into one of your bowls. A quick tip for the plain popcorn kernels is that you can have an extra bowl on hand and just take your hands and shake it like this and transfer the popcorn that's on the top into another bowl. And that way, if there's any kernels that didn't get popped, then they won't get mixed in with the caramel, and then you're not crunching them as you're eating the caramel popcorn. But of course, there are people that like that too. So it's just whatever you want. You can go ahead and transfer the popcorn like this. And as you can see, I'm only taking that top really fluffy light popcorn. And then you end up with all of the kernels at the bottom. And I prefer doing this because I have a young child and I don't want her to get any of these really, really crunchy pieces. So you can go ahead and do that, and then I'm just going to pop the next batch of popcorn. At this point, you could mix up another batch of popcorn if you don't want your popcorn to be really, really caramely, because this does make it pretty caramely with just 2 batches. But I like it caramely, so I'm going to go ahead and start with the caramel. The first thing you're going to want to do is take your honey and heat it up to soft ball stage. Okay, as soon as you have your honey to soft ball stage, which if you don't have a candy thermometer, just take a little bit of the honey as it's heating up and continue to test the consistency after you put it in cold water. As you can see, mine becomes a very soft ball just out of the cold water. It's kind of hard to see it there. But that's the consistency you want. Then you're going to go ahead and take half a cup of peanut butter, or in this case a generous half cup of peanut butter, because I like it to not be quite as sweet, and that'll help with that. And then a half a teaspoon of vanilla extract, and mix both of those ingredients in really, really well into the honey. Okay, once you have this to a pretty smooth consistency where all of the ingredients are mixed up, you can go ahead and pour it all over your popcorn. Sometimes all natural peanut butter is just a little bit chunky, so you can work those chunks out, but it doesn't really matter that much because you won't notice it in the popcorn. So let's go ahead and put this over the popcorn before it gets too cool. Okay, trying to distribute this evenly between the 2 things of popcorn can be just a little bit tricky. I'm just going to go ahead and start pouring it on one side. I like to try to pour it in a small steady stream a little bit more so that I'm not just pouring a big clump of caramel all over the popcorn and then having to take a long time to work that into all of the popcorn. But it will take a few minutes to work it in either way. And if you do have some people that prefer less caramel on it, you can just do more in one bowl for the people that like a lot, and then less in another bowl. But I'm just going to try to get it as even as I can between the two bowls of popcorn. It looks pretty good. And of course you can stop and mix before you've distributed all of it to kind of see where they're at. And then you just kind of have to patiently continue mixing it because it's pretty sticky and kind of tricky. I like to use at least two different utensils to work everything in like this so that you can pull stuff off of both of the things you're working with. So just keep mixing until it's all evenly distributed onto the popcorn. As you can see, your caramel, of course, is going to set up the cooler it gets. So you'll want to move as quickly as you possibly can to get it distributed all through the popcorn kernels. And a good tip is that sometimes big clumps of it get in, and you'll want to try to break those up as much as you can, or you're going to have a huge clump of very, very caramely, like a popcorn ball. But as it softens, it will get just a little bit stiffer, and it's harder to eat those bigger chunks. So you want to separate it as much as you can. But then again, sometimes those are the ones that you like to find because it's just one big clump of caramel. And then, as soon as you have it all the way distributed through your popcorn, you're done. So I hope you guys liked this tutorial on how to make healthy caramel popcorn. If you did, subscribe, hit the thumbs up button, and I'll see you in my next video. Thanks, guys!